Hi, I'm Alvina Ling.
And I'm Grace Lynn.
And we're book friends
Forever!
We're childhood friends
Who grew up to be
a children's book editor.
and an author and illustrator. Yay!
Welcome to Book Friends Forever. This is the State of Children's Book Publishing episode.
And check out our website, bookfriendsforever.com, and our Instagram handle at bookfriendsforever_podcast.
Sorry, I covered the script.
Alvina, how have you been?
Well, first of all, it's exciting that you are here in person.
Hello, everyone.
So I am doing really well. Last weekend was the Burrow lecture. So I was up. I don't think we've recorded since then, right? No, because you're about to do your dance.
That's right. Oh gosh, we haven't even talked about my dance.
No. Okay. So last Friday, Steve and I took the train up to Northampton, and yes, I think Anna picked us up from the train station, brought us to your house. You were not there because you were busy already at the gala, and we got dressed, and then Heidi Stempel came and picked us up from your place to bring us to the gala. The Cutchins, what was it called again? The Cutchins
Dancing with the Local Stars.
Yes.
Gala.
And it was really exciting to see you and Alex dance. It was a fun event. I mean, it was different. I do feel like it was a different crowd, I think, than I'm used to for Northampton. But Jarrett Krasowska was there, and his wife Gina is doing development for the Cutchins Institute. And that was part of why we were all there. And yeah, so I feel like there were maybe like, I don't know where you were we watched like maybe 4 different dance, and they were very varied, and some were kind of like more modern dance. Jarrett, I think he performed after you, right? Or was he before you?
Before.
He did like a fun kind of tap dance.
Yeah, he was
routine. Great. And then you and Alex did a kind of a K-pop, and it was so fun. How did you feel?
No, it was good. It was good. I was so glad that we pulled it off because, like I said, we were about a month late in rehearsals. Like, I don't know if our dance was only like a minute and a half. Everybody else's was a lot longer, but ours was really, really truncated because our rehearsals were a lot shorter. So,
short but sweet.
Short but sweet. But I think that's good. You have to like leave them wanting more. But it was super fun, and I'm so glad we did it.
Yeah, you had a fun costume change in the middle, which I think is why you won best costume.
Yes, I won best. We won best. Alex and I won best costume, and it was super fun to do with him. I know he's. We were even talking about this like a year ago. He probably wouldn't have done it, but like now this year, we're both trying to embrace adventure. So
yeah, it was so joyful. I will say it was a joyful evening. So that was Friday, and then the next day was the Burrow lecture. I think we had breakfast at Familiars.
Yes,
that's what it's called. I think that's your normal Saturday morning breakfast routine. And then went to the Carl for lunch, and then I did the lecture, and I was really touched by everyone who came out. A lot of
pretty great crowd.
Yeah, and a lot of local authors, and even some not so local. So Haley and John Rocco drove 2 hours each way to come, which was really, really sweet and really great. And I think it went well.
Great.
Yeah.
I think what was really nice was that like you were sitting the whole time. It felt like a really almost like intimate, almost like living room chat.
Like a salon.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think that was it didn't feel like a lecture. It felt like,
right.
this is how I do books, and like it was really nice.
Yeah, and it was nice that I referred to my notes here and there, but I for the most part, because I'm just telling the stories of the books, I feel like I could just talk, and I had a PowerPoint and
the audible gasp when you were talking about the Wabi Sabi.
Yes. So I talked about the Wabi Sabi behind the story, which involved missing art twice. I talked about The Curious Garden, but I actually started by telling the story of how Peter and I met and how we acquired his first book, Flight of the Dodo, and then we switched to Curious Garden. I talked about Dave the Potter, The Sound of Silence, Big Mooncake for Little Star, and Bear came along. And some fun behind the scenes stories. And then there was a little reception afterwards. And so I did give a sneak preview of my imprint and logo, and then you surprised me with a cake with the logo on it.
Was it a surprise?
You told me you was gonna do it, but at the same time, like I didn't see what
Yes,
it was
that's
gonna,
true.
like.
That's
So
true.
it's just different, like
Yes.
seeing it in person.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. And then you also had arranged for to kind of co-host, I guess, a dinner party.
At Heidi's temple. So thank you, Heidi,
Oh my
if you're
God,
listening.
Heidi was amazing
Heidi was
host.
amazing. She cooked all this food and she opened up her home, and like all these people came, and we had a really, really fun kidlit like community meeting. Like Northampton has a really great amount of kidlit authors and illustrators in the area, but we actually don't really get together that often.
Which is funny because I think I thought that they got together all the time. And maybe they did at some point, but it was nice. Like Tony and Angela DiTerlizzi were there. Jarrett Krasoska came out. Katrina Goldsaito, who wrote The Santa Silence and When Cherry Blossoms Fall, came out as well.
Nicholas Day was there, who wrote the Mona Lisa Vanishing.
Right, which is funny because he introduced himself at the beginning and he just said, "Hi, I'm Nick," and I did not know until afterwards. But anyway, Nicholas Day, if you're listening, I'm a big fan. Sorry, I did not tell you that in person. Britt Crow Miller came out.
Anna Alter, our good friend.
Yeah,
so it was just so much fun.
Yeah, and then randomly, so our friend Alex of Alex, Zinn and Gray, who we traveled to Spain. Alex used to live in Northampton, and her one of her best friends, who was also at the time her landlady, Bara, still lives in the area, and so we had invited her to come, and it was great. So she came out, and of course, I knew already that she knew Jarrett, because when I first met her, she told me that she used to babysit for Jarrett's family, which was a fun connection. But then I think as soon as she came in, she recognized Molly Berg.
Oh, yes.
And she and Molly were like, "We know each other." And then they realized that they had known each other from, I don't know, a long time ago, like 15 years ago at the dog park. So they caught up, and it was just a nice small world, lots of connections.
Yeah.
So it was great. And then Sunday, Anna hosted a lovely brunch at her house, prepared for by her partner, boyfriend, Lars.
It was an amazing.
I know. He made crepe.
But it had like a crepe, but with like a egg in the center.
It was like a crepe cup with egg and mushroom cheese.
And I was saying, if this was Chinese, we would call it like golden lotus blossom or something like this.
Yes. And yes, and then we all took the train back down to New York.
And I've been here all week.
Yeah. So why don't you catch us up in New York?
So I've been here in New York City all week. And so Monday and Tuesday, I had school visits in New York City. These were school visits that had been canceled in the winter, not canceled, rescheduled since the winter when we had that huge snow day. And so what was nice was originally they were supposed to be 2 schools in one day, but because of rescheduling, it didn't work. So it was, I just had 2 morning visits. So the afternoons I had off. And so the first day after the school visit, I just went to the Met and I just roamed the Met, and it was amazing.
That's awesome.
And the second day I went to Central Park and I saw all the cherry blossoms blooming, and it was amazing. It was so beautiful. And then this is actually school vacation week for Hazel. And so Hazel and Alex drove up. And we celebrated this is a trip to celebrate Hazel's birthday. Her birthday's next week, but it's vacation week. So we stayed here not at Alvina's place, but we stayed in Manhattan for 3 nights. And we went to we took her to Hamilton. I took her to Din Tai Fung. We went to the MoMA. We went to the Museum of Illusion.
So cool.
And it was so much fun. Gosh, it was so busy. We walked every day. We came back and we look at, we walked 20,000 steps today.
Yeah, that's New York.
So she was like,
What was Hazel's favorite part?
Her favorite part was I'm pronouncing it wrong, the Kinikawa bookstore.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kunikawa.
Kinikawa bookstore. So, which I
Yeah.
purposely kind of got a hotel. There's a Kinikawa bookstore right near Bryant Park, and we were kind of near Bryant Park. We went to that bookstore 3 times, and I
Wow.
bought her like so much stuff because and each time she's like, "How about this?" I was like, "I don't know," and then
Yeah,
but
that's
this was
fun.
fine. But that's her
So she liked that
favorite.
better than Hamilton.
She might have, but she did like Hamilton. We we really enjoyed Museum of Illusions, but we were really kind of surprised how. Oh no, sorry, I was kind of surprised how small it was.
Mm.
Oh, that's not thumbs down for.
I know this.
But so I guess if anybody's coming into town, Museum of Illusions is super fun, but don't like I had actually had scheduled like the whole afternoon for it. But it's not like a whole afternoon.
Is it like an hour?
Yeah,
two?
it's like an hour.
Yeah,
It's like,
I haven't been, but
yeah,
I know like Zin has been there.
it's super fun, but it's only an hour, and I was like, oh, and then that's actually why we walked so many steps, is because like it was an hour. I'm like, oh, we have so much more time. We could go see the MoMA. They're having a Frida Kahlo exhibit. And I was like, okay, but like it was like, we kept going back and forth. But it was still super fun. So we saw the Frida Kahlo exhibit, Kahlo exhibit, which was amazing.
I should go because MoMA's right near my office. So
Yes,
sometimes I'll just pop in at lunchtime. And so
yeah,
we'll check it out.
And Hazel was excited because she finally got to see the melting clocks of Salvador Dali. And the Met is having a Raphael exhibit, which is really, really beautiful as well. So yeah, it's so fun. Like I was just saying to Alex, like it'd be fun to like spend like a month here just so like you wouldn't feel like you'd had to like rush through, because we only saw like a couple. We didn't even see the whole thing of the MoMA because we maybe spent like 2 hours in the MoMA because we had walked so far. We're like, okay, now we're tired.
Yeah.
So
well, you should stay here for a month.
It was super fun. But yeah, and then Alex and Hazel have gone back today. I have a event tomorrow on Saturday, so I'm staying another night, and then I'll go back home on Sunday. So it's been a real whirlwind of a week.
Lots of good Asian food, though, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, Din Tai Fung was amazing. I think the one in Taiwan, the dumplings are still better, but I told you this earlier, but the chocolate dumplings at the New York one are better than the chocolate ones in Taiwan.
Wow, yeah. I think the California Din Tai Fung dumplings are better too. Although I haven't been in a while. But
so
it's all delicious.
Yes, they're all good.
All right, so for today's episode, because there's been a lot going on in the children's book industry, and we just thought maybe we just dedicate a whole episode to the state of children's book publishing. So we've talked in detail about the Dial Press Dial Young Readers closing and Roaring Brook closing and different changes. But so Harold Underdown, who has the website thepurplecrayon.com, he wrote an essay about his interpretation of what's going on. And I thought it was, so it's on his website. It's called, let me scroll down. So I don't know what it's called, actually.
We'll put a link in the show notes.
Yes.
Because we have a very long hyperlink that's probably not the right
but it's
one. Something
about like here, I have it open. It said, what is going on in children's publishing? And it's not via MailChimp, I think, but you can find it. So he actually thinks that the main thing that is affecting children's publishing are the cuts in the school and library market. And he said it's not, I mean, it was happening before all the book banning. I mean, I think it's related, but he feels like it's definitely political, but it's not just book banning.
But it's definitely tied. I think it's getting worse and worse,
Yeah. So he said, but possibly the single biggest factor behind our reactions into the news is what we don't know, school and library sales. If you follow the numbers for children's book sales via Circana, which used to be BookScan, or the Association of American Publishers figures, the market seems mostly stable or just a bit down. But those statistics don't include school and library sales. And as far as I can tell, it's a slump in these markets that has led to the various layoffs and the reorgs that have culminated in the Dial and Roaring Brook closures. And he said, these declines are caused not so much by book banning or changes in reading habits, but by political decisions. As school districts put money into tech instead of books, local governments cut library funding, and the federal government tries to shut down the IMLS. Politics, in other words, has a big impact on the school and library market.
Yeah, but I think it is book banning too. I mean, I was just in Boston doing an event with Raoul III, and I remember we were talking to one of the teacher librarians, and they were saying like how she has colleagues, not in her area, in other states, who like they actually have money, but it's just they're not using it because they're scared. They don't know. I don't know if scared is the right word, but they don't know what to buy, because they're a little bit, I think they are scared. They're scared to buy the wrong thing. So it's just sitting there, and so I think book banning does have an effect, but I do think it's probably just one of the many drops in the bucket.
Yeah. There was another article in Book Riot that talked about book banning and its effect on YA and how a lot of libraries are being forced to shelve the YA books in the adult section. And they say that this is still censorship because it's a relocation, meaning that the books written and published for teenagers are now being pulled from teen collections and placed in the adult collections. And they said in some cases, libraries may also institute restrictions on these titles, requiring young people to have parental permission to access YA books now shelved in adult sections, which is really sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with a lot with what Harold says. I think it's really like it's politics, the school and library funding being created. I think it's already hard enough for teachers and librarians to get reading into kids' lives compared to like phones and games and things like that. And then when we take away their resources, as well as like start making it more difficult for them to read because of all these political things like book banning and things like they can't read about race, they can't read about it's just, it doesn't help it at all. It makes things worse. So that's what is causing book sales to decline hugely in that area, and that I bet you is causing
it's pretty
the chaos.
Sad and depressing. There was another article that we thought, and I think you touched on this last week or mentioned it, but
but before we move on, I think because another reason why I think what Harold said is true is because there was a PW article, which I forgot to put in there, which said that actually the bookstore sales have been pretty stable, if not increasing, if not better.
Right.
And so that means it really, and if that's the case, why is publishing suffering so much? And it makes me think it's got to be the school library.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. And I know for us, so Little Brown Books for Young Readers has done pretty well the last couple years, despite challenges. But I think one big reason is we started publishing adult books, to be honest. So we started the Requited imprint, and we're publishing new adult. There's a cat butt on screen for those of you.
We're gonna get censored.
Hi, Mo. And so, I think we're like pivoting and we're able to balance things, but that's not, we're a children's book publisher. And so, I do think we've been seeing some of our first printings be really small. Like in a lot of cases, though, we are selling out of the first printing and then having to reprint, which is great, but it's just, I think it's just really, it's a tough market right now, in all cases. But this other article that I guess it's another essay or newsletter that was written by Vicki Weber, who's an agent. She had an article that basically said that, let's see what the title of that one is.
It's about middle grade.
Yes. Oh, I don't know. I don't have it up, but it's basically talking about how, here it is. Middle grade is dead. And I think Harry Potter is the problem? Is that
I think that's
no?
good news.
And I think that's so middle grade is quote unquote dead, and I think that's good news by Vicky Weber. So she talked. It's funny because part of me wondered, like, did I say this? But she said she was in a meeting with the Big Five, and one of the editors said that the downfall of middle grade was Harry Potter's fault.
Huh. Did you
And
say that?
I mean, I haven't said it exactly, but the reasoning is something that I have said.
Mhm.
So, and I've said this before on the podcast, but when I first started in publishing, middle grade had to be 200 pages or less. So we would edit the books, all the middle grade books, to make sure they were under 40,000 words, so that when they printed, it would be under 200 pages. And that went away when Harry Potter got really big, because we all know Harry Potter was pretty long, and then all the subsequent books got longer, and it just kind of, that rule went out the window.
Well, and what happened was, which was so interesting, this cat
Is just hovering.
She just
She
wants to
loves
be a
you.
part of it. But what was so interesting during that time, which I remember, is like they would purposely beef books up so they would look thicker. Like Echo, which is a beautiful, beautiful book, right?
Yes.
Beautiful book. But when you open it, there's so much white space around it. Like they purposely made that book look like a brick,
Yeah.
like because
that was what was working.
yes, that was what working. And they thought kids liked it because it made them feel like they were like reading these huge, thick books and very proud. And I think in a way it was true.
Yeah. I mean, I published, Wendy Mass writes very long books for middle grade. Chris Colfer's books are very long for middle grade, and kids would just devour those books. And it seems like they couldn't get enough of them.
Mhm.
And it is true. Like we have discovered that a lot of, in terms of our design, middle grade always had bigger fonts, but we were not designing books to keep the page count down. In some cases, we were designing the books to inflate the page counts. And so now all of a sudden the market has changed. And so Vicky talks about how she had spent 6 years as an elementary school teacher. And she said her older students, fifth and sixth graders, she watched that they would pick up a book, flip to see how many words were on each page, and then put them back down. And, she talks about literacy scores declining even before COVID. And so she says, so we had a kids' book market producing 70 to 80,000 word middle grade novels. And the kids they can't read them because the books weren't designed for them.
Well, I have a little bit of an issue with that. I don't believe that the books aren't designed for them. I think that they're designed for a specific reader that maybe is no longer like that anymore, or like, or the majority, sorry.
Yeah.
I think there's still readers like that. I think at one point there was a lot more middle grade readers that were like that wanted those thick books, that wanted to like read.
And I think my niece Shoshana in California is one of those readers. I mean, she devours really long books, and she reads them really quickly, and then she reads them over and over again. And imaginary. No, I always get the title wrong. Is it Imaginary Creatures? No. The Kathleen Rundell book.
Yes. Now I'm getting it mixed up too.
I know.
All I can think is Imaginary Creatures. Extraordinary? No.
The best-selling middle grade
creatures book.
Though that book is very long and it's sophisticated, but it's a huge bestseller. Kids love them. Like that was the one book that Zinn brought with him to Spain.
Yeah.
So there are still readers like that.
Yeah. But I do think that because of the pandemic, because of the increase of kids getting into electronics, and getting into electronics earlier, I think that a really thick book is just not as attractive to them anymore, and I think they're not that kind of reader anymore.
Yeah. But that's when I think graphic novel sales started rising.
Yeah.
And I do think, there are still a lot of books like Captain Underpants and Wimpy Kid, that are shorter and illustrated and do appeal to a broad range of readers. So, I think we've talked about things like bright spots or things that we can do already, but like, I think a lot of
Look, it went
publishers.
down.
Did you
I didn't do anything.
Sorry, we're recording on Teams, and they have, if you do certain symbols, then yeah. So see
Oh,
my
that's
heart.
love.
But yeah, it keeps thumbs downing. I don't know why.
Things.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of publishers are trying to help turn things around by publishing shorter middle grade books, maybe
Yeah.
having them be of an innovative format, having them be more illustrated. We have that Raising Readers initiative where
Yeah.
we're giving out free
More
books.
of a I think that's what happened was with Harry Potter and these thick books. Everybody started designing to be really, really thick, and maybe there was too much emphasis on that. And we got overly excited about those kind of things, and authors get excited like, I can use all the words I want now.
Yeah, you don't have to be really tight.
You don't have to be tight. We don't have to think about it. Then and then we slowly, I think things have to like get adjusted, so now it's the rebalancing of the pendulum. I just hope we don't go all the way to the, but if we do, well, it'll just come right back, hopefully.
Yeah. I think, I couldn't find the article about this, but the other thing that people are talking about a lot is young adult and how young adult has become more for adults or upper level teens, like 18 and, it's like 18 to 25. And that we, in some ways, publishers are failing the 12 and 13 and 14-year-olds.
Yes.
And I've talked about how I have seen that on our own list. Like I would say the majority of our YA list is for 14 and up readers, which means the main characters are probably 16 and up. Yeah. Because teens like to read up. So there has been a push for more younger YA again, which I think would be great. There's a publisher, and I have mixed feelings about it. I think it's Harper. I can't remember. There's a publisher that is actually marketing their YA books as clean teen.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
And I'm worried about
yeah, I mean, I think I think a lot of people who object to that term, it's because by saying clean teen, you're implying that the other books are dirty.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, and I worry about the definition of what they consider clean.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like if there is a gay character, but there's no sex, or, is that considered clean or not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it can get very right-wing very fast.
Right. But I do agree, like for us, we categorize something as 12 and up if there is no sex, no extreme violence, no cursing, or, mainly F-bombs. Oh, here's another cat and another cat butt. This is Sweet Pea. And no like drugs and alcohol. So something like Samira Ahmed, her books are always 12 and up, but oftentimes she does have older, her characters are, 17 or 18. So even though they would be considered clean teen, they aren't necessarily really for the 12, 13. I mean, they are, but, I think we probably need more books that are set like freshman and sophomore year of high school.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of things that publishers and authors can do to kind of turn this around, and it might take a while, but I feel like there are already things happening.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, already the idea that I feel like there has been a call for the last couple of years for middle grade to be thinner and thinner, it's smaller and so like,
yeah, and it's starting to already happen. And I think the book, like I think Will's Race for Home by Joe Parker Rhodes was one where it came out at the right time, the right format at the right time, and it was an adventure book, and even though I think the push for like diverse books has, in this political climate, has been iffy. I think that book was still able to benefit because it's just an adventure story.
Yeah.
And it's shorter and has illustrations.
I mean, I guess that's where we're always trying to balance things, right? It's like, yes, maybe the quote unquote public asks for one thing, like maybe they're not asking for diverse books. Does that mean we stop making them? Like we have to believe we don't do that, right?
Right. And I just had an Ask Me Anything, and she asked me this question, and I said no. Like I feel like I've kind of doubled down on publishing diverse books still. I think where it is affecting things is the level of advances, honestly. I think during the huge push for diverse books and when, I think in like 2006, like after 2016, we were seeing like more big auctions
Yeah,
and high advances.
and you were seeing the diverse books on the New York Times list and stuff like that, and like that's happening less and less now, unfortunately.
So I think the books are still being published, but they're being published at maybe a not as large a level in terms of just advance and attention.
But it's a hard thing because then the marketing is like, so it's like if we double down, we have to push it that much harder to get it. It's always this really difficult.
It is tricky. And
this is a typical dance that everyone's trying to do.
Yeah.
And everybody's already tapped out too. So it's a really, really hard thing to figure out.
But there's still so many people who love books, and we're publishing them, and we're publishing them well, and
that's where great organizations like We Need Diverse Books and stuff like that are so vital.
Yeah, and there's so many. There are a lot of literacy programs. There are a lot of.
Do you think that do you feel like the awards and stuff are still, because I've heard a lot of things, not through you, but through other people, that the awards are not having as much effect as they used to as well.
Well, I mean, honestly, the only awards that we felt really used to move the needle were Newbery and Caldecott. And nothing else. Like honestly, not Prince, not CSK, not National Book Award, or very small.
Yeah.
Truthfully, they do. I mean,
they're good because they give the book some notoriety.
Yeah.
So it makes them stand out in the crowd.
And it does depend on the book. So I think in the past, like, I guess an example is Will's Race for Home. So we definitely saw a little bit of a bump when it won the CSK medal. And I think, again, maybe it was just the right profile of a book to benefit from the award versus like it used to be almost guaranteed that like the Newbery Medal winner and the Caldecott Medal winner would become a New York bestseller. And so that's no longer the case, but I think maybe the right profile of book might still benefit.
I think Renee's hit the New York Times bestseller after getting the gold.
Yeah.
I think.
It definitely hit.
I feel like I saw it.
Yeah, I think I saw it too. And did Fireworks?
I think Fireworks didn't have enough books in stock. To hit the bestseller, like
that often happens for the picture books.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, I do think those books will both see a bump, just not as extreme a bump as they might have in the past. So
we'll see. Cheerful.
Well, in some brighter news,
yes,
let's move on to the fortune cookie segment,
which is about your imprint. Yay! I mean, as I said in the little gathering we had in Northampton, there's so many things we can get depressed about in the children's book industry right now. So it's really nice to have something to celebrate and some kind of gleam of hope. And I feel like your imprint is that.
So the imprint was officially announced in Publishers Weekly yesterday. I guess today is Friday, April 24th that we're recording this. And they had a nice little article and profile. I spoke to the editor or the writer Shannon. I think it was before I went to Spain, and it's funny because I know I kind of forgot what I said, and I remember like just this week worrying a little to our publicity director. I'm like, you know what? I don't remember what I said, and I feel like I said something like I feel free. At the end, and I'm like, oh no. And then the article came out, and sure enough, the last line was, I feel free. It's great, said Alvina. So just this little, I don't know, a little slight.
I don't think that's a slight. I'm like, what do you think? Why do you think you said that?
I think because it's true. I have been feeling free this year, and in part free of all the meetings and the managerial duties. And I do feel free to really focus on the editing of the books. And even, I've carved out time to read submissions. It used to be that I would pass on the submissions to other editors, or, I would it'd be like at the end of the year that I read submissions. So, I feel like I've been able to, at least for picture books, read submissions in a kind of
Uh-huh.
more timely manner. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
think I
I mean, I
have
think
felt
you had kind of accepted your role as a black hole before.
I had, yes.
And so it's kind of nice that like you can be a star instead of a black hole.
Oh, that's a nice analogy. Yes, so yeah, and it's been really nice. So a lot of people have kind of said what you said, like, oh, it's so nice to hear some good news. And I think I mentioned this on the podcast before, but a former colleague, and this actually did play into, so the article kind of covers the whole process of how the imprint came about. It talked about how, Megan had, suggested it over the years and why I felt ready now. It also talked about how I decided to make it an eponymous imprint. And I didn't mention this, but like in the comments, one of my former colleagues said that her son had commented at one point, like, not her again, or, and she's like, what are you talking about? And he said, Alvina Ling, she's mentioned all of the books. And it made me think, okay, even with kids, there's some name recognition because my name. So an agent, Mitch Hoffman, we used to work together. I think he used to be an editorial at GCP, and we haven't been in touch in a long time, but he emailed me and said that his daughter, who now is 20, but he said, she loved all of your books, When a Man Meets the Moon, Ling and Ting. And then every time he would bring home another book, she would say, is this another Alvina book?
Oh, that's
So he's
sweet.
like, so your name had recognition.
Yay.
Like, okay.
And it's such an unusual name too that it's like memorable. So I think it's really great.
Yeah. So let's see. I did, so I saw Connie Shu last night and I said, oh, you're alluded to in the article, which she didn't realize, but I mentioned that two Asian colleagues at other houses had mentioned that it would be nice to have an Asian woman name as an imprint. And so that was Connie Shu and Jenny Bach. Jenny Bach's at Viking. And they said that to me. It was the day that the imprint was announced, not by name. And I saw them that evening at an event. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to name it. And anyway.
That's true.
So,
Yeah, because there is no other. Is there another Asian?
No, Ginny So had an imprint a while ago that, folded or,
sad.
I mean, I think she's publisher at Tricycle or, so she's still in the industry, but the imprint, I don't know. It's a little nerve-wracking. I hope the imprint lasts because as I also said, I forgot that I said this in the article, but I said like, oh, now's the time to think about what my final chapter in my career and my publishing would be.
That's true. I mean,
I want this final chapter to last at least till I am ready to retire. So
no, I did say at the party, like, you're never gonna have your first imprint ever again. You might have a second imprint
Maybe I will.
or a third, but you'll never have your first one ever again.
And people pivot, and so we've talked about pivoting.
Yeah,
but I am gonna just put my all into this.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of your legacy, and I think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
So. I mean, that's why we're doing this kind of stuff. I mean, not, but I mean, at this point in the game, it's kind of like we're all in the final chapter. Okay, not the final chapter, but we're 2/3 in.
Yeah, I think I put a song which I wasn't familiar, but I was like, I think it's like new chapter or next chapter.
Yeah, we're 2/3 in, so we need to really think about what did it all mean and start putting it all together.
I did want to mention one challenge was that when it came time to secure the URL alvinalingbooks.com, our marketing director discovered that someone already had bought it. And so she asked me if I had bought it, and I said nope. And so we were able to secure it. We did buy it from whoever bought it.
It was like a URL pirate person, those people that like.
Right. And I think so by then, I guess, I thought, okay, maybe someone guessed what the imprint name would be when the announcement came out, but it was purchased in February, which means it was after I had decided on the name Alvina Ling Books. I had I think I was naive. I did not keep it a secret. Like we weren't announcing it publicly, but
Did we say it on the podcast?
we did say it on
Oh,
the
no.
podcast because you asked me like, what did I decide to name it? And I said it. And we probably shouldn't have done that.
Mm.
Although I hate to think that one of our loyal book friends would have squatted on the URL.
If it's you, shame on you.
But if it was you, let me know because I don't know. It's one of those mysteries that I kind of
that you want
I just want to know. And our marketing director, she kind of jokingly was saying to her team, she's like, if it was one of you, good job. It's like, I guess that,
I need some extra money.
Yeah, it would have been funny if it really was me and I just didn't know.
If it's me, it'd be like, ha ha.
But so we announced it on the podcast. I had mentioned it to just some agents that I met early in the year. I would tell them, and I did mention it at Kindling Words, and it was bought the Sunday after Kindling Words, which makes me suspicious of the people who went to Kindling Words, which again is a little sad. But I guess it's safe to say that there were hundreds of people who knew I was going to name it Alvina Ling Books before we secured the URL.
But still, that's a pretty small amount of people considering the vast population of the world that would actually buy a URL Alvina Ling Books.
Yeah.
So.
It wouldn't even occur to me to do that.
So.
I mean, I guess I'm glad that I secured, you know what? It could have also been, because I did secure the Instagram Alvina Ling Books. So it could have also been someone who saw that I did that.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so I don't want to, I don't want to cast suspicion on.
Make you feel better that it wasn't a book person,
Yeah. So. Anyway, so that was a little, but we have Alvina Ling Books. It's live on the, it's part of Hisha Book Group.
So are you it's from all your new books from here will be Alvina Ling Books. Will you get to do any of the old books back as?
We decided not to go back. So like for example, Ling and Ting, we probably won't. We're not currently planning to rebrand.
But when the
new
reprinting,
ones,
would you?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's just an extra expense and burden on a lot of people to prepare, so we just felt like it wasn't worth it. But for the new books that aren't getting the logo, we are putting Alvina Ling Books website on the books and on the copyright page so that they are still officially Alvina Ling Books, but they're just not having the logo.
The extra logo.
Yeah. And then the logo I think I mentioned was designed by Tracy Shaw.
Yay, Tracy.
And and I don't know, I've been getting nice responses to the logo. And I was a little nervous. I don't know. I was just
two trees.
2 trees make a forest.
Yeah.
And you're a sweet pea again. But yeah, so I'm excited that that's all official. Fall 26 is the launch list, and Little Stone Buddha is on the list.
Yes.
Conspiracy of Charming Monsters by Holly Black.
That's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, A Book for Everyone by Haley and John Rocco. And the third book in the Kate McKinnon's.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because the first 2 won't be under.
Yeah. Okay. And the same with the Holly Black. So actually, the Kate McKinnon's Jungle of Caro Banana is what the title is not going to have the logo, and Conspiracy of Charming Monsters is also not going to have the logo.
But they'll put, when they reprint, they'll put like alvinalingbooks.com on or something.
No.
Okay.
But the first printing will say Alvina Ling Books on the.
Okay.
On the copyright page.
Okay.
So, and the metadata will say Alvina Ling Books.
I see. All right.
Yeah.
It's exciting all around.
Yeah.
So, when I got the cake made, I asked them to either put it in red or gold because I wasn't sure because you change the color for all the different books, right?
Yeah.
So what color is it like?
Like the typical?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, red would make sense because that's like the good luck color in Chinese.
Yeah, that's just why I told them.
But so our, marketing person who did the website asked what color I wanted, and I said purple because it's my favorite color.
Nice.
So it is purple on the website, and I put it in purple on the Instagram profile pic. But I think normally it's just going to show up as black and white.
Nice that it's purple.
But it can be any color, really. But yes, for picture books, we'll change it to fit the design. So I think on Tracy Subasak's next book, Dragon Boat Race, is going to be.
Oh, how exciting! Dragon Boat Race.
I don't know if it's announced yet. Anyway, I'm announcing here, but we already designed that. It's coming out winter 27.
Okay.
And that one, it's red, and she's like, "Oh, it looks like the chop, and it's so pretty, and
Yeah.
it works nicely." So anyway, so we'll adjust it for the book.
Awesome.
All right, so now we'll end as we always do with what we're grateful for. Grace, what are you grateful for?
Geez, I'm really grateful for this really fun time and week here in New York City. I'm really grateful that we are able to do our dance without making fools out of ourselves. I'm really grateful that yeah, I think that I'm really grateful that the weather was really lovely here in New York while we were here. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's just been so much fun. And I'm so grateful for all of it. How about you?
I am grateful for the children's book publishing community, and I guess the wider book community. With this announcement going out, I've just been hearing from a lot of people, from all corners of publishing, including the adult, side. And it's nice. It's almost similar to the Burrow lecture in which I took a look back at my career. I feel like this announcement kind of also has given me the opportunity to look back at my career, and also all these people who I've encountered along the way. And and it's been really nice.
Yeah, I hope they're able to do something. I guess they probably won't, but I was like, I hope they do throw you another party at ALA or something like that.
Not an ALA. I mean, so this is the 100-year anniversary of Little Brown, and so I think we are going to try to do a party for that. And so
good. Yeah,
maybe
fun.
we can do something
like in 100 years and more with Alvina's new imprint.
Yes. Oh, and I can't remember if I mentioned this, but the Burrow lecture is available on YouTube. So if you missed it, you can watch it if you just go to the Carl Museum YouTube channel, it's there. And so you can experience the lecture.
You can experience the lecture and see the scandal of how I was AI before AI existed. That's what my daughter said when she saw the lecture. She's like, "Mom, you were AI before the AI existed."
So you have to watch the lecture just to
understand that joke.
What we're talking about. All right, so that was the State of Children's Book Publishing episode. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to Alex at PC Works Studio for editing the podcast. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and tell a friend about it.
And tag us on social media using the hashtag BookFriendsForever, or send us a message via Instagram at BookFriendsForever_podcast, or via our website, BookFriendsForever.com. And please join our Patreon. The link is in the show notes.
I'm Alvina Ling, and you can find me at Alvina Ling on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Threads. And also there's Alvina Ling Books on Instagram now as well.
And I'm Grace Lynn, and you can find me at Pacey Lynn on Instagram and Threads, and author Grace Lynn on Facebook.
Have a great week.
And don't forget to read. Bye. Oh, wait, does it work? Blah. Oh, it works for you. Oh, it doesn't work for me. It's so sad. Bye.
Bye.
I got it.
Yay, hearts.